an idea for Superman. The movie, the reboot, the Redux. This is how it should go. Now, keep the old familiar John Williams score. You got Superman, opening credits. Superman, and it's a montage. And it's him kicking ass. Flying. He's talking to Lois Lane. Smooching with her. You know, and it's all cut up. It's like it's flicking through a comic book and it's just quick paced. While that beautiful music plays. And it keeps going. Superman, badass. And then you cut to a guy. Big slovenly guy. Sat on his couch. And he's playing a video game. He's playing Superman. And he is Superman. But he's let himself go to shit. Why? Because he became a supervillain. How? He was accused of touching kids up. He saved a few of them. And afterwards they said he touched them up. You know, a few people have said it. And it's all come out about him, and now he's gone into hiding. You know, and here he is. And his run to fat. He's out of shape. And he's just watching the TV and eating. That's all he does. And they're saying the worst things about this guy. And you got people saying that they were, you know, they went to some bridge somewhere and they jumped off, they tried to top themselves, and he saved them. He flew by and he caught them. They were like, get off. And when he put them down, you know, they say, you know, they wish they had fell. You know, even more so now, because he touched them up when he saved them. He had a play with them. And he'd been known for this. Superman. He'd be like Jimmy Savile of the superhero world. You know, when we could show footage, TV footage of him doing it. You're like, look at him, he's groping. This one, that one. Get out of this one, Superman. And look at the trouble it causes. How much damage he does. You could show all the atrocities all over the world and be like, where was I? And then double trouble, because you got Lex Luthor. And he's working on something that's going to fuck him up even more. He's mass-produced kryptonite. He's got loads of money. So how's he going to spend it, this guy? Experiments. Scientific stuff going on. Him paying for it. We ain't got any of that kryptonite, have we? Lying around. He don't seem to like that, this Superman. You ever got a little bit? You don't think we could, like, fool around and see if we can mass produce this stuff? You know, is it possible with all the fucking billions and trillions I've got? I'll get to it. I'll have a look, Lex. And then the comic book world was like, yay. And you're watching this because it's the Superman movie. And you're like, I didn't bargain for this. Your mind's blown. You're like, this is fresh. Anyway, Lex gets an idea. He's like, I think I know where Superman's holed up. Well, he does. So he goes round there with a few guys. What they're carrying? Kryptonite. How much of it? Fucking loads. And Superman is fucked. And then he'd have to have the big meeting with Lex. You know, where Lex could kind of taunt him. And maybe Superman's been knocked around a bit and he's just coming to, and there's Lex. Sat across from him, staring him down. Tutting, shaking his head. Fucking state of youth. And all his henchmen muttering. And you keep hearing nonce, pedo scum. You hear what I'm saying? Super creep. They'd have names for him. Super pedo. Super nonce. And you'd see this, the headlines, in the papers. In the Daily Planet. Lois writing about this and saying, I know a few things about Superman. And disassociating from him. And saying, he touched me up. What? Yeah. When? I'll show you. Got the pictures. And it's like, dear me. And Superman, Superman dead, gone. Clark Kent still alive, but fucked up. And unrecognisable because he got out of shape. Couldn't fit into his costume. It's like, it's bad, this. And you're seeing, calls for his arrest, find him. Conspiracy theorists, I don't think he's left planet Earth. And it'd be dark, not comic, not fun, this, for Superman. And Lex Luthor's like, I want the world to know he's a fucking kiddie fiddler. And again, that's what he spent his money on, making sure of it. And you're looking at this and you're like, he can't even fly away, Superman. Why? Because of the kryptonite. He's surrounded by kryptonite now. He's in a building made of the stuff. He's fucked. Paunchy, roly-poly rolls of flesh. Out of shape, despondent, sad. Dejected, feels misunderstood. He stands accused of heinous acts against minors, members of the public. In some cases, celebrities will say, he did it to me. And you could show it, you could be like, here he is making a public appearance on Saturday Night Live with Jennifer Aniston. And what's he done? You can see it, slow it down. He touches her boob. And her be laughing, but, saying afterwards, it It was uncomfortable, that, and it was going out live, and I didn't know what to do. And you see Superman. You know, zoom in, and it's like slow it down. It's a creep. And you're seeing this. You're seeing lots of it. What's wrong with Superman? And they talk about it on TV. The women do. On Loose Women, they say, what's wrong with Superman? Can you believe what he's done? I never did like him. And, you know, show him knocking someone out, and it's like, I didn't do anything that bad, not to deserve that. You know, we just flew in out, and Owen started fucking lashing me about. And I was only trying to help the old lady, and he's turned up. And Superman, if he was any good, he'd only have to look at you. He's got heat vision. He'd only have to look at you to kill you. X-ray vision, you know, they'd say he's got X-ray vision. He could see under your clothes and stuff. You know, and then again, showing old footage, and it's like, look at his eyes, look where his eyes are going. Joaquin Phoenix as Superman, directed by. It's gotta be. Paul Thomas Anderson at the helm. Written by yours truly. You know, and it'd be like, Stark, how the fuck is he going to get out of this? Kids be watching it like I don't like him. But then, we'd show Lois Lane in her apartment. She notices that a window's open and curtains are fluttering about. With some trepidation, she approaches the window, and a dark figure steps out of the shadows, grabs her. It's got wings, this thing, this creature. It drags her backwards and flies out the window with her, cackling. And we see Superman. And he's convulsing. You know, he's been tortured, he's been all sorts. And he's going through this, and he starts to sob uncontrollably. Because he knows. He's telepathically receiving this notion, this message, this possibility that Lois Lane has been kidnapped by some winged half-man, half-bat creature thing. Just flew off with her. Superman knows it. You know, what's left of him inside of this roly-poly jelly body. Oh, and we see this. We see it so clearly. And then we see Lois. We see her getting whisked off to a cave and treated appallingly by these creatures, yeah, like bats on legs, but tall, and we'd show all the veins and all the ribs and all the pointy bits and all the nastiness, the creepiness. It make your skin crawl seeing this. And we see Clark Kent lying there on the floor. Yes, crying, and yes, uncontrollably still, and you can see this, and he starts to grow angry. He starts to grow very angry, and we see this. We see the glow from the kryptonite. It's green. Everything's green. And we see him. He starts to bulk out. But it's pure muscle. It's bursting through his shirt. His trousers are popping. The buttons are going. His shoes aren't big enough. He's hulking out. That's him. He turns into the Hulk. And the Hulk is not bothered by no kryptonite, so he bashes through it, squashing Lex Luthor and a few of his henchmen on the way. And he bounds out of the place, leaping through the air, boing, boing. And we see he transforms, he transmogrifies mid-air. How quick he needs to get out as quick as possible, and he knows he can't do it by jumping, so we see him. He turns into back into Superman, and he flies faster than the eye can see. And he knows where to go, and he gets there. And he's stunned. He stops in the mouth of this cave. And he's looking at this. He just puts his head down. We hear all this people laughing. And paparazzi turning up and taking pictures. And Superman just bows down, he's down on his knees crying. And it was all a big stunt. Lois Lane didn't get captured. And we go back, we see that Lex Luthor was planting this seed, telling him where it was, telling him how to get there. Goading him, telling him, you're not Superman, look at the stay, look at the size here. And them laughing, like the bloody Hulk. Look at his skin, it's gone green. Have you noticed? Well, he hasn't left the flat for ages, has he? Why? Because the whole world thinks he's a nonce. Look at him. And you're like, how do you feel as an audience member watching this, seeing this? I feel sorry for the cunt. Make it a PG. Because We're not showing anything too explicit. Now we see Superman and he's been fooled in front of the whole world. We see Lex Luthor. He's back up on his feet. Chuckling. We see his shoulders going. Laughing. Thinks it's funny. We see Lois Lane posing with a new boyfriend, Brad Pitt. And Leonardo DiCaprio and Jonah Hill having to hold Brad Pitt back because he wants to slap Superman. And Superman's just this, we see, because he's down on the floor, we see him balding. This massive jelly just shaking and sobbing. Rain coming down outside of the entrance to this cave. We see people walking past dressed as, these bat things, and they're just actors in costumes. We see the shame, the things they've been accused of, but we've seen all of this. And it's one big heroic act at the end there. It's all a big joke played on Superman. We see him slowly get up and walk away. He kind of trundles off. Then he rolls forward and flies off like a big dough ball in the sky. People laughing. And we see him out in space, hurling towards us with his fist out. His cape blowing, his massive bulk. We see him wobbling, we see him, he's moving so fast. And he's coming towards us, the audience. And it's like, it could be coming for you next. And then we cut to black.